நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय.
मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
देह शिवावर मोहे
क्या
शुभ कर्म के कबू ना डरूं. देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्म के कबू ना डरूं. ना डरूं सो जब जाए लरूं. करे अपनी जीत करो निश्चय करे अपनी जीत करो निश्चय करे अपनी जीत करो. देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्म ते कबू ना डरूं. देह शिवावर शुभ कर्म ते कबू ना डरूं. और सिखो अपने मन को है लालच हो गुण तो कुछ रो. है लालच हो गुण तो कुछ रो. है लालच हो गुण तो कुछ रो. देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्म ते कबू ना डरूं. देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्म ते कबू ना डरूं. जब आपकी अगली दान बने जब आपकी अगली दान बने अति हिरण में तब जूझ मरो. अति हिरण में तब जूझ मरो. देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्म ते कबू ना डरूं. देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्म ते कबू ना डरूं. शुभ कर्म ते कबू
Anand sir also. He joined. Anand sir also joined.
Anand ji, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, sir. Over to Shobha ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Technological innovators are needed to enable the organization to achieve its strategic objectives. According to a recent survey, digital transformation has been leading priority for the information technology initiative for global companies since 2020. Open Network for Digital Commerce is a technology initiative to revolutionize the digital commerce ecosystem in the country, aiming at promoting open networks for exchange of goods and services over digital or electronic network. This open source methodology and network protocols is expected to make e-commerce more inclusive and accessible for commerce consumers and stakeholders. To enlighten on these technological initiatives by business entities and Government of India, and also to enrich us with latest technological changes in taxation, we have amidst us CMA Manoj Kumar Anandji, CMA Rajendra Singh Bhatiji, Sri Ram Gopal Suryanarayanji, and CMA R. Nellai Kumarji. I, on behalf of PG and Research Department of Commerce, extend my warm greetings and wishes to the galaxy of intellectuals, learned professionals, colleagues, and friends from various departments and my dear students for the third day of 5-day capacity enhancement program on information technology in commerce and business organized by the Department of Commerce, Guru Nanak College in association with the Information Technology Committee and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. At the outset, I profoundly thank the advisor, CMA TCA Srinivasa Prasadji and CMA Rakesh Shankar Ravi Shankar, and convener Dr. T.K. Abhaykode, Head, Department of Commerce, Dr. M. Ramila and Dr. R. Geeta, Organizing Secretaries, for conducting this wonderful learning session. May I take the privilege and request Dr. Geeta, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of this Capacity Enhancement Program, to introduce a keynote speaker, CMA Manoj Kumar Anandji, Council Member, Information Technology Committee, Chairman, Professional Development Committee, Chairman, Infrastructure Committee, and Technical Cell of Cost Audit and Statutory Compliance to the audience. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to our esteemed guests and one and all present here. It is my distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Manoj Kumar Anandji, CMA, an eminent personality in the world of finance and cost management. Mr. Anand currently serves as an elected member of the Council of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, ICMAI, for the term 2023 to 27, reflecting his commitment to advancing the profession. With a distinguished career that includes his role as a former principal advisor, cost, finance, Government of India, Mr. Anand has consistently contributed to financial policy and strategy at the highest levels. He has chaired the NIRC of ICMAI and holds qualifications such as fellowship with ICMA from the University of Strathclyde, UK, backed by nearly 4 decades of professional experience. Throughout his extensive career, Mr. Anand has held pivotal roles in various ministries and undertaken assignments spanning tariff policies, costing studies, public procurement management, and more. His insights have consistently addressed complex financial challenges, making him a valuable speaker whose address promises to be both enlightening and thought-provoking. Without further ado, I invite Mr. Manoj Kumar Anandji to take the floor. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta ji, Dr. Shobha ji, my esteemed colleagues present here, Dr. Prasad, Shri Bhati, Shri Ravi Shankar ji, and dear students. Nothing gave me a greater pleasure to listen to the Holy Gurbani at the beginning of the program, and that showed that the teachings of our greatest Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, have spread far and wide. And in Chennai, which itself is a very religious place, the Gurbani really, really thrilled my heart. I being from Punjab and from the Punjab side, that really thrilled me. I am very grateful to you, madams, and Dr. Prasad for giving me this opportunity to be in this place to speak with you people few words. As mentioned by both the doctors, the IT has taken such a great role in our lives today. You see, when I qualified my this qualification of Institute of Cost Accountants in 1984, at that time, the calculations used to be done by us, and the costing sheets were on a spread of maybe 10, 12 piece of pages basically, and we will keep on clipping them and then ultimately working out on the allocations and absorption of overheads, because as you know, uh, Dr. Shobha by chance mentioned Institute of Chartered Accountants, but we belong to the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants. These are two different institutes. We are more concerned with looking into the costing aspects of the expenditure, whereas our other colleagues in the Institute of Chartered Accountants are more concerned about the veracity of the vouchers and ultimately the audit of those things. We go beyond those. Our institute goes beyond that. For example, I'll just dwell on this for 1 or 2 minutes so that you will be. Say, for example, if in an institute or if a college of your repute, if there are certain expenditure, so at the level of the chartered, the veracity of the vouchers, that it has been passed and it has been signed by the persons correctly, and then ultimately the audit will be done. But in case of my members, they will really go in the depth of that expenditure, that if this expenditure is more, say for example, if conveyance is coming more, they may think of that, why can't we give the conveyance loans to our professors, and so that we can reduce the conveyance, or maybe we can adopt Ola and Uber, and then that reduction can be passed on by way of certain other areas. Similarly, the utilization of classes or the optimization of resources is primarily the scope of my course, that is the Institute of Cost Accountants and Management Accountants. Now, coming to IT, you see, we are now facing such a great challenge that because we are now in the present century 2023 basically, so all the things are being done at the computerized level, and all our trial balance, our profit and loss and balance sheet are being managed on the computer itself. If you program, and then the things are done. I read somewhere that even in case of this artificial intelligence situation, everything will be done, and then ultimately the final balance sheet will be before your table. So the profession of accountancy per se, profession of audit per se, is under a great danger in coming days, in coming years, because of the influx of the information technology. Before of the influx of the information technology, we can't say that it is wrong. You see, the things what we were not even able to look forward by working out on telephones, or by looking into the Googles. Now it is just a click away. It is something amazing. IT has infiltrated so much now, and then Paytm, UPI. You see, UPI, I don't think now we have started, we are not carrying money now for that reasons with us basically. And we are just passing the payments based on the UPI, based on Paytm, and we need not carry the money basically. So IT is becoming an integral part of our lives. And you must have read the WhatsApp messages that if you are calling for a pizza in future, he may ask you that your blood cholesterol is this much and you are not entitled, and all these type of things. So that may be possible. So that is where IT becomes an essential subject to understand with and to live with basically. But the tricky part comes that how to analyze the analysis done by IT with the help of IT. Information technology will help you in analyzing a situation whatever type of analysis you want to do, he will be able to give you. The IT technology will be able to give you. But the understanding and how and what type of analysis you want to get done is to be done by human mind only. So as humans, we should not feel threatened that IT will sometime take over or IT will sometime really replace some of the functions. No, it may help us or it may facilitate us in arriving in looking into the scores and scores or number and number of gigabytes of the data basically, but they may really not be able to. Yes, with the GPT or with this AI basically, maybe they are being threatened that the human mind may be even replaced, but otherwise please rest assured that human mind will not be threatened by this, and we are only equipped with this tool which is known as information technology. I am so glad that all of you are doing a great job in learning the latest techniques of IT under this great university of Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Chennai, with such learned professors, namely Dr. Shobha and Dr. Geeta, and I'm sure all of your staff, others are going into the latest things. The the big challenge what I feel with IT is that every day something new is happening. So we need to be abreast with all the latest technologies, but at the same time, I will surely suggest that please keep your mind little free of this clutter and trust your mind and trust your gods basically for that, so that your mind is relaxed, and then that is how you can use the IT technology much more in a much more better way for your development and the societal development. I once again thank the organizers and especially my very dearest colleague Prashad Sahab for giving me this opportunity to be with you on this occasion. And I'm sure my learned speakers who are otherwise other than me basically, they'll be able to focus on certain other areas. I thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Since both of you are from Punjab, I would like to introduce about the college. This Guru Nanak College was started in the year 1971 to commemorate the 100th year of Guru Nanak Dev Ji,
Amazing.
the then governor of Tamil Nadu.
Amazing.
His Excellency, he was also from Punjab. He gave the land to start the college. And this college houses a very sprawling campus in the Raj Bhavan of Tamil Nadu. And there is a Gurudwara, a holistic Gurudwara inside. So the college provides a langar scheme for the students. Beyond caste, creed, and other religion, they are serving the community at large. Dr. Abhiko Dema put in 33 years of service. I am an alumni of Guru Nanak College, graduated from BCom in 2004 and 7. So what else we require? Someone from Punjab is coming and appreciating our institution here. Thanks to you so much, sir. Thank you.
Amazing, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Introducing me to the college. I was honestly thrilled to hear the Gurbani in the beginning. I was aware that the college is in Chennai, but I never expected the Gurbani that it will start with Gurbani, and I am very grateful that I have been a part of this today's session, and I really feel very happy in this basically. Once again, I am very grateful. Thank you very much.
So, Bhatti sir and Anand sir, whenever you are in Chennai, please block 2 to 3 hours. You need to visit the campus. So the people there will be happy to receive you. So it is an open invitation. You can keep it. So 2 to 3 hours, you will have to spend time in the college, sir.
So on behalf of Guru Nanak College, I am welcoming you, sir. Please do come when it is possible for you when you visit Chennai.
आनंद जी बहुत धन्यवाद for you to come and then grace the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, madams. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, sir, for making us to distinguish between Chartered Accountant of India and Cost Accountant of India. So I make it a pleasure and repeat here. So our Department of PG and Research Department of Commerce is organizing 5-day capacity enhancement program on Information Technology in Commerce and Business in association with the Information Technology Committee and the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So thank you, sir, for briefing us and elaborating the influence of information technology in every walks of our life, and also the requirement of us to equip ourselves with the latest technique to keep up with the new environment. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to call upon Dr. Ramila, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of this Capacity Enhancement Program, to introduce another keynote speaker, CMA Rajendra Singh Bhattiji, Council Member, Chairman, Indirect Taxation Committee, Chairman, Committee for Accounting Technicians, to the August gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. It's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, CMA Rajendra Singh Bhattiji, Council Member and Chairman of Indirect Taxation Committee and the Committee of Accounting Technicians. He has served as Vice Chairman, Secretary and Treasurer of the Northern Indian Regional Council of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. He is invited as guest appearance on TV channels for various post-budget session talk, importance of CMA in banking sector in News Nation, a national TV channel, India Bode, and discussion on portfolio management and investment strategy at the time of study in CNBC Awas TV channel, and many more to the list. He is an eminent speaker for CEP programs and chapter level, national level for both members and students, and shared his views about CMA profession and its scope in regional and chapter meet 2015 at head office in Kolkatta. He is also a key speaker in the field of GST, internal audit, internal control system, and company law. Further, while working with this Ram Anand Iyer and company, handled various assignments like internal audit of Exim Bank, Mumbai head office, like reporting on bank ALCO, ALM reporting, corporation bank statutory audit, and audit of various financial institutional NBFC. We are delighted to have such an eminent personality among us, and thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable time and knowledge with us. May I take the pleasure in inviting CMA Rajendra Singh Bhatti ji to deliver his keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, the session is over to you, sir.
Yeah, it's audible. Thank you, ma'am, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Ramila.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks to management of Guru Nanak College and Associate Professor present over here, Dr. Geeta Madam and Sudha Madam, and special thanks to TCA Srinivasan Prasad sir, so who brought me before you and discussing in a very relevant topic. As Anand sir already deliberated his view on the the tech way, the things changing in a business environment with the IT. It's really changing because the things which we are day to day, starting with our first eye open with the IT, means with the help of IT, because earlier we used to see watch by this way on a wall and something like this. Nowadays we see what is the time and something like this. This technology, because we are dependent on this technology only. Our emotion, our physical health, all these are in this box only. So now we have to watch it as we because the CMAs are for every successful decision there is a CMA behind. CMA is behind. So if you go for any kind of a decision, if you aware about all these technological aspect, then you will be able to take a very good decision on whenever you be a part of a decision making and all. Because see, nowadays if you talk over a phone something like this and you want to buy some pair of shoes and something, on a phone you are talking, and instantly when you putting your phone, then you come to know that some ads is coming in your Facebook and your Instagram reel. You're getting some sort of things. Even the technology go beyond that. Some companies will call you that you have a special offer of a 40% and something for the Adidas shoes and some the brand. I'm just giving example, but there are many companies they went to that level of marketing. So in the marketing part, if you say the technology has taken a very extreme role where we were not thinking they are taking, because they are now this technology in the marketing sense, they have gone to the EQ, the emotional quantum of this particular, because what you are thinking, what is your mood saving and some sort of a thing, what you are thinking. If you are searching some sort of a relaxation, then you will have some sort of a, guidance from the. If you are searching for the yoga, then you will have yoga. If you are searching for a tourism, then you will have a guidance on the, because whatever you are typing, even your talking sense is being recognized by things. So merging all these, then you will come to the execution part. Then we will have a execution, as Anand sir already told, that if you want to buy, there are n number of gateways, like as Anand sir told, that UPI and then Veeam app, these sort of transaction. If you go in every corner of a city, that Naryalwala is having a UPI app, you pay money and then that money gets collected in one account and some sort of things. Now again, after having a money, then our role, our professional people's roles comes, that what sort of a money you have got. People are taking a money, but they are not thinking how much money if you are an income tax advisor, then you have to see how much of money you have received, on what account you have received that money. That you have to again account. I would have to do the accounting of that particular money also, because a person who have started a business is having a huge money in their account and some sort of that, whether they have taken a GST registration, and then n number of classification will be there, because you are, when you are doing a business, you are keep on doing, and then when money comes, then the back office, you have to work this side of it. So after having all these transactions, and you have seen recently that after a COVID, when work from home started and these sort of techniques came, this today, although today I am in Chennai, but I am from the Jodhpur, but I could have joined from Jodhpur also for the college and addressing with the people from the Chennai. So this technology all gave this sort of it. So when you do the accounting, then you will have a classification. Then after seeing an organization's all transaction which happen, most of the people, because I don't think that everybody carry a cash and something, because again the concept of this what emotion and that laziness is also coming, because who will go to withdraw the cash and some sort of this. Every person around me is taking a money, that panwala is taking that air pressure wala for the he's taking money in a cash, and everybody is 10 rupees I want to give, he take, because there is a concept of changing money and all sort of a transaction. When come to the back office, like professional, like we those who are doing the accountancy and then costing all those things, then that their role comes. Okay, so because if you see how the role of a professional and how the role of a cost accountant comes, you see that the transaction is being done by the people. If you collect in a statistical department, then you will come to know this particular area people are buying. Last day they have buy this sort of apple, and this sort of hawker they have purchased these because these information can be accessed through the any departmental access wherever you are, because if you are having all Veeam transactions, so then that back sort of question you can have it, where because income tax department they can trace, and then what are who the user of this department, they can tell that this sort of it. If you shut down the internet in one due to the this strike and all, so you will come in another day in a paper that in this particular day these sort of a transaction will not happen due to the shutdowning of a internet in one particular section due to this strike and something. So earlier, due to the stuck in a road and some road jam, chakka jam was the concept where you have to stuck the people. Now only if you stop the internet, if you cut down, then there is a kind of a strike is coming. So when you do the accountancy, then you have to understand and analyze the things in sort of a thing, because these sort of opportunities coming for the India, like people, those US and UK, they have a huge requirement of intellectual person, because the technology work, but they required. Why? But as Anand sir told that there is a requirement of a human intervention also, because you have done the transaction and number of transaction, you have done 1,000 transaction in a day, but you have to classify it. System cannot classify it because you have to classify it. Na? So this sort of a transaction gone from this, so you have to allocate it in the back end. Because sometimes when user input come from the outsider, na, so that user is not going on that route. If he deviate, then the only person can. So writing book and presenting in the standard format, and according to the guideline, according to the standard disclosure requirement, the human intervention is required. So again, the good opportunities comes for the professional when they use the technology. These are sort of a transaction is been happening, because I have seen the people from my Jodhpur is doing the back office work of a US in a UK accounting. They are filing their like our MCA reporting we have to the annual compliances. So to their company reporting they are doing from the Jodhpur itself, because they know this set of processes there. Here we require the human intervention. They do, because they are professional. If they hire a professional, they have to pay in a fund. But if they pay in a pond, then expensing out in Indian rupee, then they will get a good professional. And if we earn in this pond and something and expensing out in Indian rupee, so we will have some good opportunity. This sort of opportunities, the outsourcing of the back office working to the Indian people is also coming. If you see in this way, and take one example of one of the scheme of a government, and then government will analyze according to after the expensing out. If we were government expensing out the Ayushman Bharat scheme, and they are paying to the stakeholder and some sort of a thing. So you will get information from the system itself, IT, from the IT itself, that if in Ayushman Bharat and some Chiranjeevi, some kind of schemes are there from the state and the central also, for which disease you have paid more. Okay, so if that sort of expenses is going out, and if you see the health claim by this medical policy and all, if you combine all these data, and then you will come to know that these sort of diseases going on, then preventive action you can take. This sort of a role is being played by the cost accountant. We, those who are sitting in the hem of where those who is sitting in these decision making, they always call these information from the department that how much of the money we have expenses out in the Ayushman Bharat schemes, and they call from the medical this insurance policies also, sir, which are the claims you are getting from the your when you reimburse the claim from the your when you do the insurance, and then invest that your client claim for the which are the most of the disease. These sort of, because the AI has taken change, because accounting and preparing a balance sheet, you can standardize and all those things. Whatever the transaction you that go in the P&L, that go in this particular sort of way, because you have a concept and you have a principle of accountancy also that you have set and prepared in this format. But again, because reading that balance sheet will not give a result, then you have to have some standard disclosure requirement. Then standard disclosure requirement you have to represent again in the systematic format. So there the human intervention come. Because every transaction, when you go in this mall and that scanning is there, that good fast fast tag and that rapid tag is coming. So if you are having it nearby, you are passing, that will automatically they will take from their system inventory and all that. But after having all those records, these sort of records, okay, because this concept you should have in your mind, because we as a commerce student have all these in your mind. When we take executive decision, then we thought that this way it is being prepared. Now the utilization of this, when you utilize these information, when you prepare a balance sheet and reporting as per the standard requirement, then your role comes. It's not only that technology will do all the reporting and some sort of, they will prepare a report. Also, your technology has prepared your balance sheet, your P&L is ready, your income tax computation is ready, all things ready. So now you want to have some reporting. Is new concept of a chat GPT. I want this sort of my balance sheet in a AS17 requirement. Then that chat GPT will help you to prepare that AS17 reporting also. Now that chat GPT, whatever the command you have given, that command may differ. That time again human intervention is required. Because writing an article, when you are writing an article, you require a labor thing. When you write, when you start writing, or you are writing 4, 5, 6, 7 pages, so again required your handwork. That your hard work and labor work, the people were feeling, oh boss, I will write and I will give you in 2, 3 days. But now ChatGPT is giving. Now again you have to analyze your every laziness, what comes in your mind, technology is taking. If you feel I'm not able to get up, I'm not able to check my health, and I'm not able to concentrate on something. So that nowadays this Healthy by Me and that app is coming. Now they are always taking care of your health, and they gives your pulse and all those things, your weight. You have to do this type of a step walk and some sort of things. Every laziness is being replaced by the technology. Still technology is not taking your mind work. Whatever the mind work you are doing, that you have to do it. But technology, after seeing your mind, you're intellectually working. But when you are not working, when you are not working intellectually, and technology come to know this man is intellectual and he is mindful, so he is having a mind and he can. But if you give a trend of doing, the technology will take away. Technology is following the man. What sort of things you are doing and not doing, and some sort of things, that technology will take away. So we have to go ahead with the technology, and technology is coming back, and they are taking our all what we are lapting, they are taking. So we are lapting with some sort of things. Technology always comes, because whatever we lap, I want to know today I'm attending this particular seminar, and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and maybe after 2, 3 months, I forgot what sort of a thought I have shared, and some technology is there. They will give you that, oh, Mr. Bhatti, you spoke this, you were telling these sort of things, you were sitting at that place, and some sort of thing. So technology is taking a business away in a very different manner, and even every person of us. Like 10 years back, if you talk what today I'm taking, so we were feeling that nobody with a villager at village level and some sort of a thing is not able to see all those things. But now you see the real concept of Instagram and not giving the producing the leader in the political party also. See, political party, if you are a huge like on a Facebook, WhatsApp, and some sort of a things, so people say he's a good man, he's some sort of a things. He may not be having experience and some sort of thing. Your entertainment industry is being taken by this particular thing. So these sort of thoughts from my uh, perspective, but we have a limited time, so I have to restrict our here also. And thank you all the associate professor and Ramasinghan sir and TCS Innovation sir for giving me opportunity to speak. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatti. It was a real insight. Now, I would like to acknowledge the presence of
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us on the role and impact of IT revolution in every business with relevant examples. The necessity of human interventions in analyzing every IT transactions helps in reporting and better decision making. Thank you very much, sir, for thoughtful and very good in talk with our students. Thank you. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Ramila, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of this Capacity Enhancement Program, to introduce the technical speaker, Sri Ram Gopal Suryanarayanan, SAP Consultant and Trainer, to the audience. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my honor and privilege to introduce to our technical session speaker, SAP consultant and trainer, Sri Ram Gopal Suryanarayanan sir. He is a business analyst and an expert in business requirements, blueprinting, user acceptance testing, and end user training. He is also an investment analyst with portfolio management insight. Sri Ram Gopal Suryanarayanan sir completed his M.Tech in Industrial Biotechnology from Shastra University at Tanjavur in 2008. Further, he completed his Investment Foundation from CFA Institute in July 2020 and SAP Sourcing and Procurement in 2019. We are happy to have you with us today to enlighten us on the topic ONDC network and other initiatives by Government of India. Over to you, sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Can anyone confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, sir. You're audible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay, so hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity, and very happy to talk to young people about what you can say, the ONDC network, which the government of India has provided, and it's like a big opportunity for every one of us, not just the entrepreneurs inside you, but also every one of us. I'm just sharing my screen, and I'll show you what are the opportunities we have in ONDC. So first of all, couple of years back, like maybe 5 6 years back, when, or maybe even more, 7 8 years back, when the government has started introducing the Digital India initiative, there were a lot of connected networks that were there. Which was helping the country move in the very right direction. So the everyone, what we are using is the UPI thing. Now even a small shop in one Tanjavur or in Erodu or in Tirunelveli, everywhere in the nook and corner of the country, they have the digital payment platform. So you don't have to carry cash at all. So especially in Bangalore, I'm can talk only for Bangalore, but without cash you can live for months. That is the power of digital India in respect to the payment space. Apart from that, any transaction that you make, 1 to 2% will go to the card company when you go to this take this Visa and Mastercards. And with that 1 to 2% from one transaction, let's say we are doing a transaction for 1,000 rupees in a shop, and then 10 rupees automatically goes to these companies. And if you see the total in the whole country, if you see that card relevant transaction, especially the credit card ones, goes in crores every day. Let's say we have 100 crores transacting in credit card. 1 crore rupees goes out of the country, which is affecting country's forex in a very bad way, because these companies are not Indian. We are going to give our money to get the dollar from this from for these companies, so that we can pay the uh, the royalties for their parent companies. So which is draining 1 crore at a time of our forex reserve, and we have, let's say, 5,000 crore, 6,000 crore forex reserves, and every day this is going. Even though we are producing so much, this will be doing us in a negative way. That's why the government introduced the RuPay card. So again, the same way, Amazon and Flipkart, even though Flipkart is an India based company, the ownership of Flipkart is now mostly with Walmart. You might be aware. So Walmart is the company which has invested heavily in Flipkart, and they have the biggest ownership. So every transaction that you do in Amazon or Flipkart is giving a 2% to even as large as 10%. The cut is going to these companies, and when they send this money back to their parent company, that is giving a big amount of forex negative for India. And in India, if you see what is the what is the biggest company in the Asia, it is Indian Railways, not the SRTC, the Indian Railways. So same way, who's the biggest consumer of all the products and services in India? It is the government of India. So you have n number of departments. You have police department. You have every minister you take now. So every minister is a department. So in every ministry you have so much of expenses, and these expenses they are giving quotations. They are giving a lot of items, and they are buying. And many cases there are a lot of corruption possible on also whenever we do this transactions
Sir,
offline. So government,
excuse me,
what I
sir.
wanted to do, all these purchases
Ram
apart.
Gopal, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
yes, sir.
you are sharing your screen.
Okay, I'm not okay.
You
Just
are
a
ready to
minute.
please.
So you're able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I thought I have already shared. So like that, we have a number of items that can be procured from a small pencil, chalk piece, duster to as big as missiles, aeroplanes, flights like the F-16 and those kind of things from Rafales and all we are buying. And we do not have a digital platform, and then it is again affecting the whole of the morale. But if you have seen, even in the countries, developed nations like US, Germany, England, we do not have this much of digital presence inside the country. There also you need to take the cash. Same way, government's another initiative which is saving lakhs and lakhs, even crores and crores of money, which is going into forex unnecessarily to the outside of the country. They try to tap that market, and that is the reason they have created the ONDC, open network for digital commerce, with which you can do a lot of things. You can become a, let's say you have a small shop nearby, an artifact shop, or maybe you are producing a small scale manufacturing unit you have, and you want to sell those items, a dress manufacturing item, maybe you are a small toy manufacturing facility you have, and then you want to sell it to outside world. And even if you want to do a reselling, so from somebody you're taking in a bulk, and then you want to do it in retail. So all these things are possible with the ONDC. It looks very, very similar to how the Amazon and the Flipkart of the world work. So, however, government has introduced a new regulation that apart from normal people, even the government departments, the ministries and the departments below them, they also use this efficiently and effectively, so that the lot of money movement inside the country. Let's say you have 1,000 rupees in your hand, you want to buy a toy, so you give 1,000 rupees, you buy. Then the toy shop owner wants to buy a want to pay for electricity, so he pays for electricity. Then again they want to buy coal, so like that, whatever the happens, the total amount in the system remains constant. When I say in the system, it is under the purview of government of India and under the purview of RBI. However, the moment it goes out of the border, across the border to, let's say, US, let's say China, let's say Middle East, lot of money is lost in the forex transaction. So every dollar when we exchange in, let's say in TV, they say today the dollar's value is 80 rupees. $1 is 80 rupees. So no bank will give you $1 for 80 rupees. They'll always charge you 81 rupees. The transaction charge will go to the bank, and many of these banks have foreign ownership also, which transact in this forex, and that money also will go out of our system. So that much of economic loss we are trying to mitigate with the help of ONDC. So this is like the brief introduction. Now I'll tell you like how we can go and each and everything. So there are two ways you can participate. Mainly in the two ways and you can participate in ONDC. There are other ways also that you can do, but base level it is two ways. Either you can become a buyer or you can become a seller. Let's go one by one. So what are the participants that we can have? So one is network. So network is generally the buyer and sellers, and another one is ecosystem participants. So how they are building the ONDC ecosystem itself. So that is another thing that we can go through. So normal network participants, you will know these are the buyers and the sellers. These are the network participants. If you see the network participant, and these are the people who can provide different kind of services for this networks. This ecosystem participants are the people who can provide us the different kind of IT services. So this technology service providers is generally how they give you the system, how you can set up the system, how can you host the items, your items, and those things. Reconciliation service providers is basically how they do the accounting relevant services. And then online dispute resolution. So there are many times when we go into our normal. So these people, when we can use these people is when we are going to host or sell our products into the system. And then we have online dispute resolution. So if you go to Amazon, Flipkart, many times you want to buy an item, but now these days they become very smart. So they ask you to buy the item, they will only give you a replacement, they won't give you the returns. Many items they do like that. So same way, if we have any online dispute in our system, so these people you can use it to remove your disputes. So this is the online dispute resolution service providers. And then account providers, how do you create your accounts for this network, ONDC networks. So here, these are the different roles that are relevant to the network participants. So in network, as you can see, there are mainly two kinds of participant. One is the buyer and the seller. So buyer also you can do, you means generally most of us, we can start as a buyer. But if you already have any business idea, if you already are doing some kind of business in offline, let's say your father is running, your uncle is running a shop, if you want to take it online, this would be a best place with least expenditure for you compared to Amazon or Flipkart, where you will have to shell out a lot of money and then do that. So instead, and also here you can find all the buyers for your products here itself. So whenever there is a need or then they'll try to discover you from within the network, and then you will be able to help them out. So here we have B2C. You might be aware of what is B2C, business to consumers. And then here we have B2B. So one business to another business. So mostly when we get bulk items, when we want repetitive orders for a very long time, for example, you're running an office and you want office chair or office supplies like uh, papers, pen, stapler. So these kind of items for a long term. So in those cases, you will go for the business to business kind of item. And you have marketplace and inventory sellers. So inventory sellers is basically they have a large amount of books. Let's say they have hundreds of 200s of or thousands of books at a very minimal price. So that also we can take. And marketplaces, when they item by item basis, they can do. And logistic service providers is basically who will do the logistics. If you know, in the US and all, the Amazon is the main, so a logistics provider of Amazon is their postal service only. So there were a lot of allegations that the whole postal service is working for Amazon at a cheap rate you can do. So if you see even today, many of the people who are running the small businesses like in Instagram, they sell items, right? They sell jewels, they sell dresses, they sell other small toys and these kind of items. When they do this logistic service provider, they use the India Post as a logistic service provider. However, in India, for a large scale item like ONDC, you need a separate logistic service providers other than the government relevant ones, and other courier services or the package services. They would be pretty costly for a common man to, or common man or a small scale business in a very initial development. It will be very difficult for them. So, any question until now? Anyone? Hello, am I audible? Hello, can you hear me?
Sir,
Anyone
yes,
can
sir. You
answer?
are audible. You can continue, sir. Sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you so much. So now how you can join the ONDC. So that we will see next. So first we need to understand what is our role. What are the roles that we can play here? So create a seller experience. So when the seller is trying to do their process, how to see seller is generally first. Let's say you're going to be the sell through ONDC network. So in this case, what you do is you find what is the product. You see what are the complaints relevant for that. Whether I have to do for the register myself for the GST. Whether I have to do all those things that you first see. So that is the seller what they need to do. So seller through register through any seller network participant and then start online through ONDC. So it's a straightforward thing. So here if you have a company, you have a private limited, the corresponding GST or other tax compliances that you need to do. Next is creating the seller experience. So these people are the ones who are facilitating the sellers to take it to the next step. Both create seller and buyer experiences. And then when you have software as a service, let's say you're building apps for industry consumption or for technological consumption of institutes like schools or let's say the revenue officers or maybe the police stations or maybe the railway ministry and people who work behind below them. So in those cases you must go through the ONDC only, and you can provide your service as a software and you can host it in your own network, and then you can get the best out of ONDC network. So if you want to provide other services, which is which we like earlier discussed, whether it's a reconciliation or dispute resolution service or the gateway. Gateway is basically how you connect between two systems. So that kind of internet relevant services, if you are able to give, you can become a partner. Then you have to fill the NP form. So this is the last step. If you want to be a network participant, you need to fill this form. And generally, as per general trillion, as you all know, we have recently become a 5 trillion economy. Sorry, we have recently become fifth largest economy, and very soon we are going to become a 5 trillion economy. And as of now, the whole of digital commerce, if you see the internet penetration in India is much higher than the global average. Even in Middle East, let's say Germany or let's say the US, these countries, the cost of 1 GB data is like what we do for the whole month, let's say 900 rupees or 1000 rupees. In that range you have to pay for getting 1 GB of data, mobile data. However, in India we have millions of people, 800 million people have internet access today. They all have cell phone in their hand, they can do things from phone. And a lot of people I personally know also who do not have uh, even a college degree and or just one college degree, and then they are doing a lot of businesses only with their phone. And only after they grow to a certain extent, once their turnover is crossing 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, only that time they are going for the laptop also. So even without laptop, with just phone and internet facility that is there in the country, people are able to scale up their business with the initiatives like ONDC. So and as far as I understand, the uh, whole of this digital ecosystem is going to grow again another multifold. So the e-commerce business in India is roughly 5 billion. Even though we have 800 million people having phones and with internet, we are the internet penetration is roughly 5 billion. Whereas you compare the same with China or China and all, also the internet penetration is very high. Not as high as India, but they are still high. And the US and Germany, they have lower penetration but higher digital sales. The whole of their economy, the biggest sales are happening digitally through the internet, like how we are doing in the Flipkart and Amazon. However, the retail sales specifically. However, in India, that is still long way. We have a long gap between how we have currently placed in the digital marketing and how we are going to go in the next 10 to 15 years. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all the people. So a matter of whether you have a product or not, my suggestion is you can become a part of ONDC. You can try. If you have a small business, then it is well and good. But even if you don't have, do the drill, do the initial steps of becoming a business owner in ONDC, meaning starting your own business and hosting it in ONDC. Maybe the initial items may cost a little bit amount, but the value that you're getting back. So generally, that's what we see, right? Whenever we buy something, we see how much value it is giving us back. Let's say you're somebody selling a flower is 1000 rupees. Obviously, we'll not go and buy. If you say a pen drive is 500 rupees, or a 500 rupees pen drive is costing 100 rupees, obviously we'll go and buy. If let's say if it is a genuine one, still we see the value it is giving back us. So same way, if we are going to buy a kerchief, also even a suit or a shoes, so if it is giving the value, if you are going to the right place with that, people will get respect. But if we are not using it properly, then the value is not there. So the kind of value, the 10,000 or the amount that you will spend in setting up your participation in ONDC as a buyer or the seller, most likely seller would be better in a starting stage. So if you register yourself as a seller and see what are the the compliance activities I need to complete, what are the forms I have to fill, how the market is working, you can do analytics also with this and find out using maybe a latest the previous speaker was saying about the chat gpt and other stuff. So likewise, the latest tools, how we can try to do an analysis of, and Google Analytics is there, Google Trends is there, so these things you can use freely and try to understand how the world is moving and what kind of business will help me out to go to the next level and adding value to myself, people around me, and the nation. So that's it from my end. If you have any questions, maybe I think the question is later time, that also we can do, or anything else also, I'm fine with that. And thanks everyone for thanks Professor Rakesh and the people from Guru Nanak College for giving this opportunity, and I'm happy if the college students are able to get something out of it. And thank you, Shobha Madam.
So thank you, sir, for enabling us to understand the evolution of ONDC and how ONDC helps to build business ecosystem and to mitigate the economic loss by exchanging goods of services within the network. Thank you, sir, for such an insightful presentation. Thank you very much. I'm happy to invite Dr. Geeta, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of this Capacity Enhancement Program, to introduce another technical speaker, CMA R. Nellai Kumar, Concept Guru, Academic Cost Accountant, Nellai and Company. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shobha. It's my privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker for technical session, CMA R. Nellai Kumar, a versatile professional with a wealth of expertise in the realms of finance, taxation, and cost management. Mr. Kumar's impressive credentials include multiple degrees such as MCOM, MBA, FCMA, CFA, CIA, DISSA, CAI, and CSC, reflecting his dedication to continuous learning and professional development. As a academic, he seamlessly combines the roles of a practicing cost accountant and an academician. One of Mr. Kumar's standout accomplishments is his pioneering work in implementing GST, goods and services tax, in various industries where he has consistently driven cost savings through innovative technologies and processes. He possesses a profound understanding of HR cost management and has shared his knowledge through numerous lectures and presentations on diverse topics including GST, cost audit, Companies Act, and more. In addition to his impressive professional journey, Mr. Kumar has made significant contributions to the field of taxation in India, and today he will shed light on technology initiatives in taxation in India. With his vast experience and deep insights, we are in for an enlightening and informative session. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming CMA R. Nellai Kumar to share his valuable perspectives on this critical subject. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. First of all, I thank the management and faculties of Guru Nanak College of Commerce PG Research Program and our own IT committee chairman, CMA TCA Srinivasa Prasad sir, and my brother CMA Rakesh Ravishankar sir, as well as our council members Manoj Kumar sir, as well as Rajendra Singh sir. We directly move to the topic, the technology initiatives in taxation. What India done? The past 10 years, as like private management, our government has also implemented business process management. We all know what is business process management. This is basis for implementing a change, improvement, re-engineering. We all seen this change, improvement, re-engineering in both the direct as well as indirect taxation structure. the direct taxation. The new version of income tax 2.0 is launched, as well as a very big change in the indirect taxation structure is brought by this government, introduction of GST. The government understand people, process, data, and technology. Once again, I repeat the order because without people, we cannot do any change. People, process, data, and technology is essential for growth, transformation, and management. What are the changes we have seen in the past 10 years in direct and indirect taxation? We already discussed about the implementation of GST, as well as we all know the shift from income tax to the 2.0, as well as we also hear about the changes in MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, now gone to version 3, V3 portal. We have seen the technological advancement plays a various dimension of taxation process has led to the great influence. It became the next wave in the business transformation, because we know together with the taxpayer, tax authorities also looking forward about technological advancement and innovation in the field of taxation system, basically in order to attain the effective and relevant results what they are expecting. The government is expecting the results nowadays as like private organizations. Every month the government is disclosing you the results, that is the target achieved by the GST department. Yes, IT technology is believed that the fourth industrial revolution for the technological expansion. How the technological advancement helps the businessman, tax consultant, as well as the various stakeholders. We just see the same in short. The tax authorities uses the power of these technologies like big data to improve the administration. We all know the registration. Earlier, we go to the department for registering the excise or service tax or VAT. Nowadays, after implementation of GST, we no need to go to the office. Everything is done by through online e-registration. And after completing the monthly return in online, we have to send the acknowledgement by physical paper. It need to be submitted to the department, VAT department, TN VAT. At the time of introduction of GST, it is completely eliminated. Now we are only following the e-filing system, as well as the assessment is also done by through online. So e-assessment. So we are now hearing the new word called tax technology. What is tax technology? It is nothing but the government uses the submitted source data to assess the tax where the tax forms are required no more. See, for example, in the month of July 2023, we all filed our income tax returns. While filing our income tax returns, we have some data as well. Our income tax department is also able to give us multiple source data under the two systems. One is AS as well as TAS. So this digitalized technologies used is a generic sense is matching the data from other sources, generating the e-audit assessment as analyzing the taxpayers across. Here, the problem what we are going to address, that is the professionals is help the government for disclosure, because government is already getting all the data. All the data is with the government. The professionals, we assist the government in disclosure. The government need transparency. Yes, that is what done by the professionals. Okay, move to the next. The government approach in Indian taxation change. This IT change. Yes, the Indian taxation authorities are also IT equipped. There are many initiatives are done in the IT department to educate the officials and how they are now accessing the data in by through online. Nowadays, they are also using computer-aided audit techniques. Earlier, it was used by the professionals for doing the audits. We need to thank the COVID, because the COVID teaches to do the audit techniques and all the IT usages. They also help the taxpayers to fill out the forms online. In next 2-3 years, we can able to see the one form for all the individuals. They are going to summarize into one particular form. Today we are using ITR 1, ITR 2, ITR 3, ITR 4 and all. But in nearest 2-3 years, we are going to see the change. Only one form is going to be given to filled out for all these things are going to be eliminated, because all the data are the back data are directly auto populated. In this year also, while filing the income tax return, we can see this change. All our tedious informations are auto populated and directly fill into the columns. Yes, this will going to happen. We cannot do any such changes on that. Earlier days, the manipulation of data can be possible. Nowadays, because of this transparency, the manipulation is limited. Yes, the e-payment of taxes as well as e-filing of tax returns, reconciliations, and e-viewing of tax credits is also with us as well as with the authorities. Because of digitally equipped, the taxpayer is given the choice to participate in the tax assessment online. Today, it is happening. In the morning, I have attended an online session for my client. It's an online hearing. The tax authorities who put up the case as well as who is in the hearing is from other part of our country. In old other traditional days, in nearby our, because we are in Tirunelveli and income tax office is there. We will go to the range. In the range office, some officials will be there. He may be known to us, or we can influence them, and whatever the assessee wants, or as whatever the fluctuations, it can be done by these fellows. But nowadays, it is not at all possible by through this e-assessment. It saves the time as well as it reduces the corruption. Speaking of the speed, the income tax system are being used as a risk management tool to pick up the returns for the scrutiny as per the case of customs also. Because earlier the customary practice of income tax department is to taking the scrutiny only in case of risk-based cases. Here, in this year from 2023, they are also implementing AI practice, artificial intelligence scrutiny. So it will automatically pick up, as well as in particular case, what happens on a day we are filing the income tax return. Even in the case of tax audit cases, we file the income tax return on the 5th September. It is processed and completed the return by 7th. It's a very big change. Even between that, one day is a holiday. 6th September is a holiday. But on the 7th September, the return is completely processed. But normally the processing time will take more than a month or 2-3 months. The technical platform helps in many ways. Yes, I already explained this. The COVID-19, we need to thank the COVID-19 for understanding the technology well. The lockdown helped us to understand the technology, and we are interacting by through the various technology because of this. Okay. Yeah, understanding the analytical methods, it helps us to understand the analytical methods to analyze the linkages of unstructured and structured data. It includes a collaborative approach related to the knowledge and information sharing. Nowadays, MCA as well as a CBDT, they are also shared in an agreement. So they are also exchanging the data. As like we all know the GST number, 15-digit number consists of 10-digit of PAN number. Already our data are shared in the income tax portal. Whatever, as a businessman, if you are having a GST, if you are filing regularly your monthly returns, whatever the data you have submitted for GST, that is automatically reflected in the income tax. So in 26 AS, every information is available. How much you purchase, how much you sold. So for reducing the profit, we cannot increase our purchases, or we can adjust our sales because of getting loans like that. So nowadays, these manipulation activities are minimized, and it's going to become zero. Yes. The CBDT announced a limited scrutiny and complete scrutiny, as well as the manual scrutiny related to the computer-aided scrutiny. So this is what I explained. The scrutinies are conducted for not only for increasing the revenue from the government part, but also for the tax management. The assessment of cases for this year 2023, the month of July, they introduced the AI-based scrutiny, as well as there are many notices are served because of mismatch between the AS data or the 26 AS data and with the returns filed by the assessees, because they didn't disclose the entire things. So someone who purchased the gold and invested the money, or who sold the land and got some receipts, so they didn't disclose the same. They only disclosed the salary information and file the returns. They got the notice, and then only they come to the professionals to address the notice. So these kind of things are happening now. There was an increase in, we can notice the same, the GST collection, how it has happened from the October 2022. It was increased more than 1.5 lakh crore. In every month we are achieving, we can able to achieve the same. Why? Because of implementing e-invoices system, e-invoices and the e-way bill system. Our Rajendra Singh Bhatti sir told about the RFID systems. Yes, in DGGI, that is Directorate General of Goods and Service Tax Intelligence, they are properly verifying the transactions route from Jammu Kashmir to the Kanyakumari by through internet service providers, by through this RFIDs. Bill trading, we are all know about that bill trading. Without the supply of goods and services, only the bills are issued for getting the input tax credits. So to curb this, introduction of e-invoices as well as the e-way bill system is introduced by the government of India. After introduction of this, we can clearly see the steep increase in the revenue. Now, from the 1st of this August, if any person whose turnover exceeds 5 crore in any of the above 5 years are liable to submit their invoices by through e-invoicing portal. So e-invoicing helps the government to reduce the flaws. So the GST returns, GST assessments, everything is done by through the online solutions. Now the cloud-based solutions deployed, the maintenance cost will also be reduced. It helps not only the various stakeholders but also the government to collect the data and process on time. Importance of technological advancement in taxation process. It is difficult even to manage imagine the business growing without technology. It is not at all possible nowadays. Technological advancement made the life easier. Okay, the working effectively because of IT equipped ERP platform. We need ERP platforms. Without having the ERP platforms, without having that accounting in such technology based accounting, we cannot solve the, in case we are doing the monthly GST returns. While filing the GST returns, the people today, 90% of the GSTIN suppliers are transform their accounting from manual to computerized accounting, because every month they need to file their GST return by through online. So this change help them to learn, as well as sometimes the errors can be omitted because of this computerized accounting systems. The technological advancement in taxation necessity shaped into an opportunity. So here in India, we can able to see, have you all heard about the clear tax, IT support service provider in case of both direct and indirect taxes? The power of digital is being used in order to improve the administration of taxes and taxation process by facilitating the taxpayer compliances and counter fraud. Technology acts as a major necessity in order to survive in the new world. It can be grabbed by the young entrepreneurs as an opportunity to fulfill the functions in order to achieve more heights in their business. This is what I explained. The Genius Software, ClearTax, they are all the new young entrepreneurs. They support the various business entities as well as the government by linking them, by giving a platform. India is also having the tax information exchange agreement with various territories, because today we know the role of enforcement directorate as well as the uh, foreign currency risk and all. So all these things are shared between the territories, as well as the Indian government is able to watch the transactions, the outgoing transactions as well as the incoming transactions. It helps us to understand, so is there any tax evasion is happened in particular cases and all. So Indian tax authorities have taken it as an opportunity to introduce several changes. First one, disclosure requirement. So most of the cases, the disclosure requirement is not there. Now, after this income tax 2.0 as well as the implementation of GST, the disclosure requirement is much important in case of income tax filing, as well as linkage of Aadhaar and PAN. What we have seen in many cases, in all the specific transactions, the linkage of PAN and Aadhaar is used, as well as the information is shared to the income tax department to assess the sources of expenditures as well as your investments. Today, the market participants, there are many number of people now participated in the markets. So the information about their investments, all these are shared by them to the income tax department. It helps us to assess the tax liability before you filing the returns. The thing is, before filing the return, the department is able to assess the tax liabilities. Financial statement transactions has been used instead of annual information, as well as for documentation purpose, we are using 3-tier transfer pricing documentation is required. What are all the advantages? It acts as a risk management tool. It helps in cost saving as well as the taxation process to work more efficiently with creating better strategies, which will help for the tax professional with optimum usage of resources. Especially, we no need to waste our time in assembling the data, because in our office, we will earlier days the data entry work will be the 70%. After data entry work, the processing of data will be taken in 1 hour and the filing will be happened in 10 minutes. Think about this. 70% of the time will be spent for the data entry as well as data collection and assembling of data. All these things are now reduced by using the information technology tools. Is there any limitation challenges? Yeah, everywhere we can find this. The technical things cannot be understood. Yes, for understanding the GSTIN, the GSTIN having a separate YouTube page, the each and every form filing as well as the process is explained very clearly. Without understanding the database, without understanding the website as well as the core design, how we can able to access the same? Simply we will waste the time. Something this is very familiar with us. The bit difficult to locate and manage the documents and their final version. What it was a thing happened even the previous week. So we prepared all the forms and we tried to upload the same. So some errors are popped up. That errors is not relevant to the correct thing. We find how to rectify the errors, and finally we found that a new version is released by the income tax department. We have to use the new version of data. So yeah, one day, a complete day we wasted with the earlier version of the tools, the utilities. So like this, whenever there is a change, there is an update, you also need to be get updated. The main challenges is also to translate the data into the common data that come from multiple sources. We also find this type of difficulties. So how the common data for anything to be given as a report, so we will first take the data from various sources, from the multiple sources data, how we are able to compiling this from various sources with the various things. Now it was very easily done by the softwares, by using the softwares we are doing the things, and there seems to be an inconsistency in diverse filing of taxes in multiple jurisdictions, but it was minimized as well as nearby zero because of implementation of GST. Because of implementation of GST, this multiple jurisdiction problem is not occurring nowadays. But still, in case of petroleum products, GST is not applicable, as well as alcohol, as well as few other things. So there, in that cases, we are filing this difficulty. We are finding this kind of difficulties. Future, yes, the future is the technical advancement we need to equip. So what the government is required, the government is looking for litigation management. So how the litigation management is going to be done by through online, as well as document management, because in earlier in olden days, when you see all the GST office or income tax office, we can find a lot of data is handled by them by through files and in other manners. Now the data are stored in devices. Now they are having more risk because of hacking, because of sometimes there may be a risk of loss of data and all. Okay, the documentation management and data collection, process control, and workflow in tax function support for data and tax process compliances, along with handling of reports. Now, what I said in the earlier, jurisdiction free assessment, this is what we attend. So it is in the pilot processing, but it will be implemented by the income tax department as well as GST department very soon at 100%. The taxpayer would be able to access the data, whatever there in the sites. We no need to, now earlier days, we need to maintain all the written filing copies and all with us. But nowadays, everything is available in the site itself. Even though as per that we need to maintain the same for 8 years or 9 years, even if you miss the same, don't worry, it is already available with the websites. We can easily download at any point of time. Okay, the jurisdiction free assessment, the outcome of this, what the outcome of this jurisdiction free assessment is seamless things are we are seeing that it is assessed by the taxman based in the part of the country. This would be further facilitate the easier electronic communication between the income tax department as well as the taxpayer, because only thing, there will be no such influences and all. Because of the technological advances in the future, we can see the transformations in assessment quality wise, as well as the officers assessing the profile of the taxpayer, sharing the information manually between the IT as well as the GST with reconciliation of few other forms. It will help both the side, not only in the assessee point of view, but also in the government point of view. It is very useful. Yesterday, we also learn about robotic process automation. Yes, the role of consultants, the tax consultants, start with using RPA as well as AI, the robotic process automation as well as artificial intelligence. We have more scopes in emerging areas. So in our own role, casting role, so fixation of casting cost as well as the fixation of selling price, we are using robotics and AI for analyzing the various cost data. The more usage of technology will help in transforming the taxation process, that speeding up the pace, as well as higher expectation of the business, reducing the risk and improving the managing efficiency, and it effectively produce the results. The end outcome, what we need to produce results. In many companies, in large size companies, they are doing in-house manageable by using the manageable service providers. They are using this. Sometimes SME sectors, in many SME sectors, the accounting work is outsourced. The professionals are doing that outsourcing works. Yeah, we are also doing that outsourcing works by using 2-3 employees. We are doing the accounting for the OPC companies as well as some small private companies by using the AI or RPA, like that. What suggestion from my side is based on the analytical, based on real-time decisions, in order to gain insights from the data generation through internal as well as external sources. The tax data that is integrated can help in optimizing the taxation as well as the accounting process. We studied about tax management. We are doing the tax management based on this IT background. There can be more clarity in controls as well as a responsibility which is fixing on that, as well as a integrated ERP systems. Today, even in Tally, we can find the ERP, Tally ERP, some integrated ERP things we can do, as well as it can be customized by paying additional money, and to analyze the data and the tax related from the various sources and generalizing using automated tools. Before filing the same, we are also checking the cross-verify the information. The ERP systems are helping us because the data anything missed while filing the return of income, it can be revised. In income tax portal it is possible, but in GST, if once returns is filed, you cannot revise anything. Only you need to enjoy the punishments by the way of interest penalty. It is going to be levied by the department. Whatever you done some mistakes, a human will do mistakes, yes, I agree, but the act doesn't provide the chance to rectify the same. So the technology and men and machine so need to be work at 10%. As said, using the cloud-based apps will also help the enterprises standardize the tax process and create an audit trail. Nowadays, the audit trail is introduced in the MCA from the 1st April 2023 for every transaction accounting. So it will help us to disclose the data as well as the accounting policies, the basic principles what we are studying, full disclosure principle, everything can be achieved by this audit trail. Conclusion: yes, we personally got this opportunity because of IT sector. The quality of audit what we are doing is changed. The manner of taxation process that also we address to the clients as well as to the government also changed. The government helps in getting digitalized platform to access the taxpayer data by analyzing and sharing the information with other sources. This is what happening today. The information from various sources are pooled, as well as they categorize the same, the structured and unstructured data, and again they coming back and asking to disclose the information. If we look around the traditional taxation system, the operating model is completely different. Now it is changed. In India, the technology-led reforms have played a vital role as well as a positive role in the field of both direct and indirect taxation system. There has been an increased collaboration with the government as well as various other agencies. It helps us to get more data. So equipped database as well as automated tools are the necessity of the future. And thank you. Is there any questions? Yes, we can go for.
Sir, we will wait for
Yeah.
the questions.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
yeah. So there are some questions. Due to official commitments, Ram Gopal sir has left the meeting. But whatever questions we have raised for ONDC, we will try to answer here. But here there is one general question, sir, from a student. So you are a teacher also, so you can tell him what courses he can do. A BCom student has posted.
Yeah. See, we the professionals of the Institute of Caste Accountants of India, it gives us the life. So we always suggest pursue with the ICMA, Institute of Caste and Management Accountants of India's courses. You start with now the foundation course. After that, the intermediate and final course need to be completed to become a professional. In addition to that, you also need to do some courses which is relevant to the present day. You may be interested in taxation part, or you may be interested in security management or IT sector. The Board of Advanced Studies also introduce the same courses for the students of Institute of Caste Accountants of India. So DISA, an excellent course, Diploma in Information System Security Audit. So in this platform, it is more useful for you to understand how we can do audits in the IT sectors. It is also approved by the Government of India. Yes.
Thank you, sir. There is one question: why the cost to customers is lower on ONDC on certain orders as compared to other e-commerce platform for food delivery apps? Like, see, ONDC is a Section 8 company which is promoted by the Department of Industry Promotion and Trade.
Yes.
So it is a direct connect between the supplier and the customer. So
They
the
won't take the
intermediary cost
commission.
is completely
Yes.
yes. The intermediary cost is completely avoided. So it empowers each and every household. So each and every household in India is a center for economic activity. So in order to encourage that, this the ONDC platform will help the suppliers and the customers to be in direct connect. So any other questions? Yeah. So today it was a very wonderful session where we had on the ONDC, we had the website access. So students can directly log in into the ONDC website and look for certain information. So, and you can update yourself. The second part on the taxation initiatives. So we have even the bot chat box which is answering the queries in the income tax portal now. So incometax.gov.in. So you have a chat box so where you can get a lot of information through the artificial intelligence. And sir pointed out with regard to the GST initiatives, the e-invoicing and the annual information system. So maybe in another 2 to 3 years it will be completely driven by the systems. So where will not be able to miss out any information in the income tax return. So it is getting completely consolidated in the modern days. So we are having not only third eye, a fourth eye also. So apart from, I think there are no questions today. I think we are having a lot of appreciations. Like it was a very informative session. So thank you, Shobha ma'am. You can take over.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable session on how technological advancement and innovations in taxation like RPA, integrated ERP systems, which helps in simplifying the e-taxation process, transparency and disclosure in tax assessments, which helps to improve the tax administration and it minimizes the counter fraud, thereby generating revenues to the government. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and expertise in digitalized taxation system with us. Thank you very much, sir. May I now request the Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce and Organizing Secretary, Dr. Ramila, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all present here. I deem it an honor to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of PG and Research Department of Commerce. I express my wholehearted thanks to the management, General Secretary and Correspondent, Advisory Madam, and Principal Sir for their constant support and encouragement. I profoundly thank the advisor CMA-TC A. Srinivas Prasad Sir, CMA Rakesh Shankar Ravi Shankar of ICMAI for the meticulous planning and execution of 5-day CEP program on information technology in commerce and business. I extend my gratitude to the convener, Dr. T.K. Abhaykode ma'am, Head, Department of Commerce, my dear colleagues and beloved students for their support and making this today's session a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for your enthusiastic participation and active learning in today's session. We will meet you tomorrow at same time with yet another interesting learning on cybersecurity and MIS in business. Stay tuned and stay happy. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rakesh.
Thank you very much, Rakesh.